The biggest stage in professional wrestling just set the world on fire at WrestleMania 42. Becky Lynch has officially reclaimed her spot at the top of the mountain by defeating AJ Lee to become a three-time women's Intercontinental champion. This was a total war where Lynch utilized every dirty trick in the book, including using referee Jessika Carr as a literal shield to secure the pinfall.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLune 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The intense animosity between Becky Lynch and referee Jessika Carr reached a breaking point during this title fight. It was not just a match, but a psychological battle that saw Lynch target an exposed turnbuckle to dismantle AJ Lee. The drama between these three women has fans talking about what could be a massive future showdown involving Carr herself. AJ Lee truly pushed the limits in her first WrestleMania appearance in over a decade. Despite her best efforts, and even hitting her own version of the manhandle slam against Becky Lynch, the veteran could not overcome the champion's calculated interference. This leaves everyone wondering where AJ Lee will go next in her part-time return to the ring. Beyond the gold, Becky Lynch has etched her name in the history books by becoming the winningest woman in WrestleMania history with 5 total victories. She is cementing her legacy with every single match she dominates on the grandest stage of them all. If you want to keep up with every shocking result and record-breaking moment from the WWE, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Ever wondered what happens when an icon meets the architect of a revolution? WrestleMania 42 just gave us the answer, and it was nothing short of chaotic. Becky Lynch has officially reclaimed the Women's Intercontinental Championship, defeating the legendary AJ Lee in a finish that has the entire wrestling world talking. But let's be real, the gold wasn't the only thing on the line. The real story here was the absolute breakdown between Lynch and referee Jessika Carr. It was a masterclass in psychological warfare. Lynch, channeling a persona that feels like a bold evolution of her past gimmicks, brash, calculating, and dare I say, slightly Trump-esque in her self-promotion, deliberately used Carr as a human shield before slamming Lee into an exposed turnbuckle. Seeing AJ Lee, the woman who practically laid the foundation for the modern era of women's wrestling, walk away dejected is a tough pill to swallow for the fans. But it's a brilliant setup. We're watching the evolution of Becky Lynch, a performer who is clearly frustrated with the status quo, recently calling out the industry for its over-reliance on the same few men in the main event spot. She wants the spotlight, she wants change, and she is willing to dismantle anyone, referees included, to get it. This begs the question, is Jessika Carr actually going to lace up her boots and step into the ring for a real match? Given the intensity of this friction, I'd bet on it. But what do you think? Should the women's division be headlining every single premium live event, or are we just scratching the surface of what's possible? Smash that like button if you want to see a Jessika Carr versus Becky Lynch showdown, and subscribe so you don't miss our deep dive into the future of the women's division. One thing is certain, wrestling has never been more unpredictable. Ever felt like a rivalry just wouldn't end? Well, for the last 8 months, Becky Lynch and AJ Lee have been locked in a psychological and physical tug-of-war that finally hit a boiling point at WrestleMania 42. If you thought this feud was going to end with a clean handshake, you haven't been paying attention to the man. After months of trading victories and enduring those frustrating, long TV absences, the stage was set for a massive showdown for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. The energy in the arena was electric, as these two icons traded everything from Bexploder suplexes to attempted Black Widow submissions. It was a clinic in storytelling, but the finish, that was pure, unadulterated villainy. In a moment of classic, shady brilliance, Lynch used the referee as a human shield, sent AJ Lee face first into an exposed turnbuckle, and landed the manhandle slam to secure her 3rd IC title reign. It was a textbook heel move to close a chapter that many fans felt had dragged on a bit too long. With AJ Lee confirmed to be a part-timer, her exit from the screen makes perfect sense. She's a massive draw, but keeping her in a single, never-ending feud does no one any favors. Now, the real question is, What's next for the champ? Lynch is at her best when she's elevating the next generation of superstars. Whether it's a clash with the Judgment Day or putting over rising stars like Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky, the man has a huge opportunity to reshape the division. Personally, I think it's time for a character pivot. Maybe it's finally time for a face turn to get the crowd fully back on her side as she carries the gold. What do you think? Should Becky stay a villain, or is it time to return to her roots? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of WWE. After all, in this business, the only thing more certain than a title change is that there is always someone new waiting to knock you off your pedestal. Ever wonder what it takes to climb to the very top of the wrestling world and stay there? Well, Becky Lynch just reminded us exactly why she is a legend. This past weekend at WrestleMania 42, the Pride of Limerick cemented her legacy by becoming a 3-time women's Intercontinental champion in a night that honestly had everything: high-stakes drama, pure athletic grit, and a bit of good old-fashioned controversy. The stage was set for a massive showdown as Becky faced off against AJ Lee, who was making a stunning return to the WrestleMania ring after an 11-year hiatus. You could feel the tension in the arena the second those bells rang. Now, things got interesting fast. There was some major drama involving referee Jessika Carr, especially after Becky decided to rip the padding off a top turnbuckle, a classic move that sparked a heated back and forth between the two. The ref's involvement clearly rattled Becky, giving AJ Lee the perfect opening to capitalize and hit Becky with her own signature move, the manhandle slam. It was a moment where you thought the momentum had shifted for good. But if there is one thing we have learned about Becky Lynch, it is that you can never count her out. She kept her composure, turned the tables, and landed a manhandle slam of her own to secure the pinfall and reclaim her title. The best part: she did it all with her daughter, Rue, watching from the sidelines. Becky later took to Instagram to capture the magic of the moment, calling the victory priceless and even throwing a little jab at the referee for good measure. It is not just a belt. It is a masterclass in resilience and showmanship. Have you ever seen a comeback that felt this satisfying? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another breakdown of the biggest moments in sports entertainment. Remember, champions aren't just made in the ring. They are forged in the fire of their toughest battles. Stop everything, because the history books in WWE have just been officially rewritten. Becky Lynch has done the unthinkable at WrestleMania 42, cementing her status as an absolute icon of the industry. Now, you might have heard about her becoming a 3-time WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, which is impressive on its own, but that's just the appetizer. The real story here is the absolute masterclass she put on in the ring. By taking down AJ Lee in an electrifying showdown, Becky Lynch has officially climbed to the top of the mountain, becoming the winningest woman in the entire history of WrestleMania. We are talking about 5 massive victories on the grandest stage of them all, a testament to her grit, her evolution, and her staying power in a business that chews up and spits out even the biggest stars. When you look at the stats, it's mind-blowing. Lynch has now graced the WrestleMania card 10 times, while she's still chasing Natalia's legendary record of 11 appearances, and currently sits neck and neck with Naomi. It's the win column that defines a champion, and Becky is sitting pretty at the very top. It makes you wonder, with this kind of momentum, is there anyone left who can truly stand in her way? If you enjoyed this breakdown of the record-breaking moment, smash that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all things wrestling. It really makes me wonder, though, is 5 wins the ceiling for Becky, or is she just getting started on a run that will never be touched again? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.